at any point during the year is to convert the people over to the new service, because the MITS is an incremental cost. If you don't use it, you don't pay anything.
Right, right.
So conceivably, if that was done within the 6-month period, then we would only be out the $12,000 for the bus service for next year, because we would have had this other service in place. And then we could cancel that at the next.
Yeah. So my question is, okay, so I don't know how this Medicare and Medicaid thing works, but I hear that if you call them, they arrange for the bus to come pick you up, or not the bus, but the MITS to come pick you up. I don't know how that plays into,
MITS will only go to or from
if we have
a participating city.
Right.
So even if, when we have it now, if your doctor is in Lake Worth, they won't take you there, and vice versa. So, like, them calling for you is not really going to matter unless you and your doctor or wherever you're going is in the center. Is that what you were asking?
Well, I don't know, because, like, there's times where I call patients and they're like, well, I need at least 3 days so I can get the bus or whoever to come, because they go and
I don't know, I'm aware that Medicaid has a service.
Right.
I don't know who they use.
Yeah.
I don't think they use MITS. I think they use someone else to do that.
Right, yeah, because we get different bands all the time to talk about patients.
Anecdotally, I hear that.
Give us the name.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the main one that comes is the one I gave you, I think you talked to them, but I can get more because, like, we had 2 today.
Now.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, I sent it over to the.
Oh, okay.
So we're gathering information, and I feel much better about it instead of.
I agree, because I don't want to leave them out and then have to find their own way, because.
In hindsight,
Yeah.
the better thing to have done would have been to have started this in May or June.
So now we just have crunch
So we
time.
would know for sure, you know,
But
that
we
we're
only
not
have
in that situation.
we only have the choice to opt out every 2 years?
I think it's every year.
Every year?
No, it's a
2-year.
As long as you do 6 months in advance.
Okay.
It's every year.
Everyone can cancel 6 months in advance.
From any point, but only that one time, right, Marvin? It's only the one time a year that you can cancel.
You can't cancel in the middle of the year.
Now, you can give notice that you can cancel on March, the end of that year.
But like I said, we could, and I don't know that legally we could stop them from using MITS, but if we provided them a better service.
Right.
You would think they would agree to use the better service.
Yeah,
and then
definitely.
we wouldn't pay the MITS.
Yeah.
And right now, to put it in perspective, the city pays $35 each way. And
31 now.
31, I'm sorry, and the customer pays $7 each way. So
Yes.
that's why it looks like it's feasible to look elsewhere, although there's other things besides the price that matter, you know.
And the new price would be much higher than that if we were doing it. They've kept it.
Canceled it, came back 2 years from now.
But the other thing to know is that most of the little cities don't provide this service.
Yeah,
So,
they don't.
Central Park and
They don't.
Westworth evidently does this Catholic Charity somehow. Lake Worth used to use a cab service, but I don't know anymore.
Just to throw one more layer in there, what about veterans and veteran services? Would any of that, I mean, just
Looking into, I don't,
like
did
similar
they not do it for
Medicaid?
anybody, but it's only veterans, right?
I don't know.
But that's what we're trying to do, and I would encourage anybody that is interested in this, either way, to come here on Monday, September 25th at 6 p.m.
So,
And then we'll have better information.
yes. So there'll be the meeting on the 25th, the EDC, and then there's a council meeting on the 26th. This will also be on the council agenda.
We gotta approve the budget over 10,000.
Well, we're doing that already. We're doing that tonight, our second reading.
Our EDC will be voting not to fund it, is what they'll be doing.
No, I know that, but if they agree to fund it, would we vote to agree with their funding?
No.
No.
So it's totally
But the council could, and one of the members requested, we put it on an RFP. Of course, it's not time. You put it on an RFP, get everything back, and then if the council wants help, the council would come to the EDC, ask for help. But the council, if EDC chose not to fund it, the council could fund it and keep it going. And we did check with Marvin, and these other services would still fall under the EDC authority to spend dollars on it, if it was a Catholic charity or someone else providing the service.
What time is the meeting start?
6:12.
I'll see you there.
I might note, Steve, that was a real good meeting last night. No matter what side you were on, you got information on both sides, and it was very cordial, and no joking around.
As I tell Steve and I don't agree?
It doesn't matter if it's free or not, we can be friendly about
You
it.
can disagree without being disagreeable.
Yes.
And the shot at Joanne was just priceless.
That was
Oh, wait, I missed that.
Robert called her the mouth of the South.
Okay, well, they're buddies, so that's okay.
I don't know
But
about
then he-
that.
but then
I don't know about last night.
He said she was his girlfriend as well. So.
Oh, well, there you go. So he can get away with that. Okay,
All right.
so we basically need to we're gonna have to make a decision before the 27th, if we're going to, which way we're going, right?
That's what the 25th will be.
Right.
Is
So,
us getting
yes,
better
okay.
information to make a decision.
So we-
EDC will decide that night.
Uh-huh.
If EDC were to accept it, it just moves forward with EDC paying for it. If they decide to defund it, then we can come back in the calendar.
The action that is required would be to stop it.
Right,
If no
okay.
action is
Stop the
taken,
contract.
it continues.
Okay.
And if they don't have a replacement permit, then it's a moot point anyway.
Okay.
Then the best thing you can say is you're giving the residents 6 months' notice that they're gonna not
Right,
be serviced.
okay.
Which we would need to
Yeah.
do that, obviously.
So let's move on to number 13, is discussion and or action on recommendation from the Parks Board to remove playground equipment from the key park that has been deemed to be unsafe from certified inspection.
I think where the Parks Board going the other night, is we're going to see first what's going to happen with the estimate of repairing the equipment that we have there. And we want to compare that to whether or not it'd be better to look at new equipment. But in the meantime, they're talking about some fundraisers and things like that to help with purchasing the playground equipment, because right now we don't have it in the dollar donations, we don't have it in the budget period. So, before we remove it, we would like to see what we can get on a repair cost. And then from there, we need to see what kind of equipment, meet with them, and get prices for that before we can ever actually move forward. So, right now, we're just kind of at a standstill.
And are we talking about the playground that's by the basketball court, or the little
Yeah.
bitty one?
Well,
that-
both.
Oh, both?
Both are marked, yeah, and they're both closed right now. And
I know
that, the newer one, I mean, it looks to be modular, so I didn't really see the report, so I would be curious whether this module could be thrown away, but this one added to newer equipment, you know. Of course, none of it's ADA, and that's also one of our goals, so.
So Marvin,
one of
your
our goals.
memo says that CISD donated the equipment originally.
Yeah, originally part of that equipment came from CIS.
So I don't know that that means they would be interested in, if it's now dilapidated and
They
in
want
need of
it back.
repair.
It's on a longer,
It's only proper to inform them.
that we no
Their
longer need it.
equipment's out of date.
Well,
Can
I
you
mean,
pick up your,
They were motivated to do that.
Yeah.
It's honoring their original donation,
Yeah.
at least make them aware that there's an issue and that they can choose to do something or not.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Let them know
Instead of just
we are
getting rid of
also-
it, right.
Right, but let them know we are doing our best to make plans to either repair it or replace it, not just, I don't want it to
Appreciative
look
of
like
their
we're
original
sticking our hand out to ask them
yeah, that's
if they'll repair it for us.
But
Now,
it
if they
could be
don't always
mutual.
have to
Do
order
that,
it.
right.
No, I know, but that's the way it appears when you say, oh, hey, by the way, this
Yeah.
gift you gave me
I know.
10 years ago is now worn out. You know, I mean, it's almost like, it's not proper etiquette, in my opinion. So just be sure,
But it would be worse etiquette to tear it out and not tell them we were tearing it out.
And give them the option. I mean, like I said, looking at it as a layman, it looked like there were some pieces that could be taken to, you know, maybe a church or somebody's backyard or something like that.
I didn't know it was that big.
so in
So
the
that's my
meantime-
fear, is that we take it apart and get it all mixed up where nobody can ever use it. I hope that when it's
Right,
disassembled, it can be,
Sure.
here's the slide section, here's this module, this module.
Yeah, we'll have to do it.
So, in the meantime,